Alright, hello everybody and welcome to tonight's stream. I'm glad so many of you could make it, and big thanks to AMD for sharing it in their story. And yeah, so what we are going to do today is streaming on the all-new RAZER Blade 14. I have this little thing set right up right here in front of me. And yeah, it launched today. They announced it, I think, 10 days ago. And yeah, we see what it can do. We play a couple of games. We can basically can do everything you guys want, like Cinebench stuff, firmware stuff, going through different power levels, testing temperatures, or just play games. And yeah, it's actually the first time for me testing this one as well, because I was actually on vacation until today. So I came back like 6 hours ago and just had enough time to set this one up and install a couple of games and everything and set up the stream. So yeah, just let me know if you can hear me all right, if you can hear the game audio, or if it's too noisy, not noisy enough, or anything. I need your feedback here for the stream, since we haven't done it that often, so I have to rely on you guys. And yeah, I pinned our written review from the website in the chat, so if you want to go over what my colleague Alan did on the website, so if you want to have all of our benchmark results, all of our temperature testing, all of our stress test testing, battery life and everything, it's in the written review pinned in the comment. So yeah, let's just hang out, have a good time and see what the RAZER Blade 14 can do. Oh yeah, configuration. So it comes with AMD Zen4 7940HS and an RTX 4070, and let me pull up the specs in the review. Yes, 16 gigabytes of DDR5 5600 and 1 terabyte SSD, I think. Yeah. Leonard, you mean my mic volume, right? Can pull that up, no problem. Let me know if that's better. Okay, I pulled it up. Let me know if that works better for you guys. Hi Davina, glad you could make it. Hi Sergey, how are you doing? So yeah, let me know if it's better now. Battery life. So everything that's measured results I'm gonna pull from our written review, because as I said already, I had no chance testing this one before the stream actually. So it's basically for me a first look as well. Battery life is yeah, well, in our Wi-Fi web surfing test, it's 6 hours and 14 minutes, which is fairly low, but I've asked Alan if he was testing it on 60 Hz or 240, because the display is of course a 14-inch 240 Hz QHD panel, and I do not know if RAZER does it on like automatically switching from 240 to 60 Hz when you're on battery. So I'm just waiting for his response, and I'll let you guys know as soon as I know everything. Isaiah, I hope I'm not butchering your name here, I'm super sorry. So I'm gaming on the RAZER Blade 14, and I'm actually using the ROG G14 as my streaming laptop, so to speak. So yeah, because since I've never used the Blade 14, and it's just easier with two machines. Battery capacity is, I think, 62 watt hours. Oh, 68. They increased it, I think, from last year. Yeah, last year was 62 watt hours, this year is 68 watt hours. The G14 has 76 watt hours, okay, in all fairness. And yeah, so giving this relatively smallish battery, it's actually not that bad. But I mean, last year's Blade 14 was really good when it came to battery life. So yeah, you get quite a bit more performance, but you're paying with it. You're paying for it with battery life. Supercrafter, for now, it's, I would say, fairly warm, but not hot. And I had Cyberpunk running for 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm running on the highest performance mode on the GPU and on high for the CPU. So not quite boost, but like the highest possible performance mode for the GPU. Yeah, so sorry for my gameplay right from the start. But I mean, yeah, we're not here to play video... Well, we are here to play video games, but... You know what I mean. I do not really know about the X13. We didn't get it this year, up until now. But I really wanted to check it out because I really liked it last year. But I also really like the Blade 14. Alright, settings. So, I am currently at 1080p. And we are at Ray Tracing Ultra, but since I changed DLSS from auto to quality, that's why it's custom. Quite hard to concentrate on a firefight in a game and the chat and talking all the time. Alex, the trip home was very good. So yeah, as I said, I was on vacation for 10 days and we just came back this afternoon. So I was driving for like 6 hours today, 4 hours, 4.5 hours. So yeah, if I look a little tired and maybe not talk as much, yeah, just let me know, keep me noticed, and I'll try to do my best to keep you guys entertained and answer everything in the chat. So, no, we do not test. So on the website, all of our gaming benchmarks are without DLSS or frame generation or FSR. Or for, when it comes to this, we do sometimes do like additional tests. So for example, in most of our video reviews, I try to give you at least a couple of games to show what DLSS free or frame generation can do. And yeah, but normally it's without DLSS. I mean, I can turn it off in a little bit. So yeah, when it comes to games, so apart from the usual Cinebench stuff, Firmark stuff, I got Fortnite on this one, I got Cyberpunk on this one, I got Diablo 4 on this one, and Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. So that's basically the list of games we can choose from. Yeah, for everything else, I just didn't have enough time to put anything more on this one. So I hope that's okay, but it should be a good selection to test it properly. Running out of ammunition, which always happens to me when I'm playing this. Sergey, you really have it with the naming for this generation, right? Okay, that's done. Well, I need more ammunition for this one. RC, I can't say yet. So I'm currently testing the ZenBook. And I like it a lot, which is mainly because of its 120 Hz OLED, which I like a lot. I'm very biased when it comes to OLED screens. No, Alex, we're not gonna play Sons of the Forest. I'm done building huge towers. I can't do it anymore. You broke me. So yeah, Zenbook. It's difficult. It's really difficult. I need to spend a little bit more time with the Blade. But yeah, it's gonna be really interesting because I'm daily driving the G14. I'm currently testing the Zenbook 14, and now we just got the Blade 14, so it's gonna be very interesting. Oh yeah, oh, damn guys, you really... So the... Wait, I have to concentrate. The Stealth 14 from MSI is coming as well. It's currently with my colleague Andreas, who's gonna do the written review. Then I'm gonna get it back. And so if all stars align, I will have the Zenbook Pro 14 with the OLED in the studio. I have the G14 in here. I have the Blade 14, and I will have the Stealth 14. So we can do a nice little comparison for like high performance 14-inch gaming workstation, whatever laptops you want to call them. So it's going to be really interesting. Hi there, Alexis. How is it going? Thank you for tuning in. I should have picked a more chilled game to start with. This is really stressful. But Ahmad, how much is the G14 in the same configuration? Yeah, I'm really good. As I said, I just came back from vacation, so I was chilled until I had to set up everything for the stream and install everything on the Blade 14. But no, it's fun. I'm glad we could make this happen tonight, because obviously I would have loved to have like a full review about the Blade 14 at launch, which was today, I think 3 hours ago. But they announced it like right when I planned my vacation, so there was just no chance. But then again, Alan from the website team just did his full review on it, and I linked it, I pinned it on the in the chat, so you can like just go through it and read everything. There were a couple of other YouTubers who also had their review out today, so there should be enough coverage on it. And obviously, I would love for you guys to stay here so we can see what this one can do. Supercrafter, I think it compares to the Zenbook, which it like, so Supercrafter was asking if the Lenovo Yoga Pro 9i compares to the Zenbook and the Blade. So I would say the Zenbook and the Yoga are a little bit more content creator lifestyle focused, whereas the Blade is more in line with a gaming laptop, obviously a very clean one that you could easily take to the office as well. But yeah, in the end, it depends on what you like. When it comes to these lifestyle-focused notebooks, they are limited in power for their GPUs. I do not know yet what the 4070 in the Yoga is running at, but in the Zenbook, I think it's 90 or 100 watts. I can't remember correctly. But in the Blade, it can go up to 140. I've seen 110, 120 earlier today. But obviously with the 4070 being the 4070, it doesn't really make sense to go beyond 100 watts because you do not get that much additional performance out of it. But yeah, just to keep that in mind. So yeah, I hope that made sense. But in the end, it really comes down with what you like. If you want something clean, or if you want something that's a little bit more gamery. Obviously, with Razer, you're gonna pay a little bit more for the name than with the Lenovo's. Don't want to die again. I've been stuck at this mission because I haven't played Cyberpunk a lot, apart from just testing it. So, if you've seen in our latest video reviews, it's been always this section of the game, because I just didn't have enough time to play it, because I was stuck with Diablo and Jedi Survivor. But yeah, I'm really excited for Cyberpunk. I think I'm gonna play through it before Phantom Liberty comes out. I guess you guys have all seen the trailer for it. It's gonna be pretty wild. Very excited. Yeah, maybe we should pick another game. Lexus, yeah, it pretty much is. You're gonna get a couple of more percentage points out of it. But yeah, it depends, as Leonard already said. So you're gonna have a few laptops that are faster, then you have a few that are slower. But then again, the 4070 is found in a lot of very slim and small notebooks, whereas last year those notebooks would have maybe had like a 3050, 3060 something. So like something like the ZenBook or something like the Yoga, or even the Z13, like the tablet thing that we reviewed a few weeks ago, that topped out with a 3050 Ti last year, and this year you get a 4070 because it is like much more efficient, or NVIDIA allows it to go like down to 60, 75 watts ish, and then you get a pretty capable system. But of course you're gonna pay quite a bit more because it's a 4070 SKU. Battery life I already talked about. It's 6 hours 14 minutes, but again I was asking my colleague if that was tested on 240 or 60 hertz, but I think it was 60, but I do not want to say anything wrong. That's why take it with a grain of salt for now. I just gonna name you Bomber. The Stealth Studio 14 that we are going to review has a 4050, but also running, I think, at up to 90 watts, I think. Fenver, I heard you the first, or like I read you the first time. I think Matthew Moniz or Charis Tech did a video about this. I haven't seen it yet, but knowing these guys, it's gonna be a pretty informative one. And I am gonna be pretty busy with reviewing everything that I have in the studio right now. So I do not, maybe in the future, but for now something like this isn't planned. So yeah guys, what you wanna do? Should we stay at Cyberpunk, or is there anything else you would like to see? Otherwise, I might jump into a game of Fortnite. Captain Aldarian, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna review the Vision because I really liked it last year. The Vision Pro 16 last year was a pretty solid machine. Bomber, I actually like the LA a lot. I liked it much more than the Steam Deck, to be quite honest. Okay guys, I hope you're fine with it, but I'm gonna jump into a game of Fortnite because it's what I'm playing casually every now and then, and I want to see how this one is going to handle it. So you have to bear with me for that one. Bomber, that sounds like a plan. Let's do that. RC, It's a tough one. I would say the Blade, which doesn't mean that the others are bad. So the G14, it just feels a little bit different because it's not like the same material, because it's this magnesium metal mix thing. So it feels a little bit more like plastic without it feeling cheap, if that makes sense. But the RAZER Blade is just so incredibly clean and like just so well made. I would have to give it to the Blade. It's an amazing machine. So they really, when it comes to the design and how they put together their unibody chassis and everything, Blades are pretty high on the list on like in every tier of gaming laptops. They're gonna be the cleanest and probably will have the best build quality. Leonard, that's very true. And actually, so I'm usually the guy who does not, so I do not really like to mess with settings. So I just put everything on max and hope everything works. But then when I got the LA and reviewed it, I actually played around with settings because, well, you have to. And then it's actually pretty surprising how well games look today, even with medium settings, or sometimes even in low settings, especially on such a small screen. Lexus, I mean, it's a unibody laptop. There's not that much you can change when it comes to the design so that it will look like remarkably different to anything else on the market. So if it's gonna be something clean, people will always compare it to a MacBook. But it's matte black, so I think it looks a lot better than MacBooks. Yeah, Bomber, that sounds pretty much on par with what we experienced during our testing. Sergey, so I'm running the Blade through a USB capture card. So it's going out through the HDMI and on the integrated screen, and I have it on QHD but 16:9, just to do not mess with aspect ratios and everything. And Optimus, I actually do not know. Let me check. But if I recall correctly, I've seen it in the video that... Oh, right. No, so you got a mux switch, of course, but you have to go through the NVIDIA control panel. So yeah, Optimus is enabled. And we are... Let's just start in balanced for Fortnite and see what it will do. Bomber, I have not heard the rumors yet. What are they saying? What about the Legion 14? That actually sounds pretty interesting. Leonard, what kind of frame rates have you been getting? And Vertex, that's a very broad request because I do not know what you're doing. But guys, if you want to help out each other, so if Vertex is asking for a good content creation laptop at this price range, please feel free to help each other out. That's what we are here for. That's the kind of community I would like to, I don't know, I would like to have on stream and on YouTube in general. Bomber, I do not think that's the same configuration, right? And that ties in with Kuro Neku. Neku, I'm very sorry. So, how much is the Blade 14 compared to the 2023 ROG G14 with the same configuration? Because I do not think it's that different. And Fortnite is trying to keep me away from playing. So let's try this again. Otherwise, we will jump straight into Call of Duty. but we will see. So yeah, guys, if you want to see some Cinebench or Furmark or any 3D marks or everything, just let me know. We can do whatever you guys want. But we're still gonna play some games. We're not just gonna do benchmarks all night. Huh, it seems like the G14 came down in pricing quite a bit since we did our review. At least it feels like it. Huh, interesting. Alright, Fortnite is loading, and so let me play 1 or 2 games of Fortnite. Let's have some fun. And you guys can experience firsthand that I'm not a very good gamer, but you just have to live with it for now. And then we can do some Furmark or maybe some Cinebench runs, and then we can jump into another game. Yeah, Leonard, AMD cards and ray tracing, especially last gen, it's pretty tough. But I must admit, I really like the 7900, both the XT and the XTX. I had them in my personal rig for a few weeks, and I had quite some fun with those guys. Tabaluga, that doesn't sound very good. I will fix this immediately. Yeah, Fran, I feel you. Leonard, that makes sense. It's a great card. I'm so sad that I wasn't able to try the last gen high-end AMD cards, because my first experience with AMD desktop cards was with the 7900 series. But yeah, I heard good things about the high-end last gen cards, and especially when it comes to pricing, I think they've been really attractive. Bomber, I do not have Passmark on here for now. Okay, Fortnite isn't playing ball, so let's just do Furmark, so we can see what the GPU is doing. I'm gonna start with silence, and then we can make our way up through the performance profiles, and we can see how temperatures and wattages are going to look like. Over here. So you guys, I'm just setting everything up, and then as soon as I'm ready, you will see what's actually going on. That's wattage, that's temperatures. There we go. So let's leave that running for a little bit. So we're actually at silent, and the GPU is still allowed something around 80-ish to 90-ish watts, which is quite a lot actually. Let's see how this translates to fan noise. Vertex, how much is the Neo 16? We have a Helios 16 video coming up, so I'm gonna get the Helios 16 very soon. What configuration the Neo comes with? Well, if he is doing video editing, I mean, it depends on what software he's using, but we are using Resolve, and Resolve 18 just loves fast GPUs, so I would always get a dedicated GPU if you want to video editing. I don't know how it is about how it is with Premiere Pro, but when you do Resolve, then you definitely need a GPU. Bomber, sorry, I do not have CPU-C on here, so as I said, I only had very limited time to set everything up. Let me check. Okay, as far as subjective impressions go, it's very silent. So considering this thing pulls almost 90 watts on a 4070, this is actually quite impressive. But of course the CPU isn't doing that much. So yeah. But it's actually, so I have a fan behind me because it's actually incredibly hot in Germany right now. So I hope that's not too loud. If the fan is too loud, just let me know. And Sergey, yes, Firmark is really the only thing that can pull 140 watts out of a 4070. When we do our game testing, so I did the Lenovo Legion with the AMD Ryzen Zen4 as well last week. No, this week. The video went live on Monday. So yeah. And there was also a 4070 in there. And the max I was seeing in game, and I think it was Cyberpunk, was 120-ish. And usually it would sit around 100 to 110. But yeah. So it seems like we are at 80 degrees and around 85 watts in silent. Let's go up to balance and see what happens. Divina, yeah, I've seen the Neo 16 that he put up his review. But seems like nobody has done the Helios 16 yet, so I hope we will be the first ones. We need to be right now, otherwise, so since we're so small, or like, we just restarted the channel a year ago, so we need all the views we can get, and usually if we are the first ones to bring out our reviews, it's good for views. Sergey, yeah, I have Afterburner on here, but just let me know how to set it up, because I'm not using it that often. So yeah, while we look at Firmark and temperatures and how everything behaves, if you are new to the channel and have not subscribed yet or have not liked the stream, and of course if you enjoy what we are doing here, be it the stream or our videos in general, please be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and please also check out our written review about the Blade 14 that we are currently testing right now. I have pinned the link in the chat right at the top. So please, Alan was like doing an amazing job testing this one for the past 10 days. So yeah, check out his article. All right, so let me figure this out. I do learn a lot when I do this. Okay, hold on. So let me just show you guys what's happening. Okay, point me in the right direction if this is what you want to see, because Control F wasn't working. Sergey, I know, because I was, so back, I think 4 or 5 years ago, I got a RAZER Blade 17, and you had to undervolt this one, because this one was the one that came with a 1080, like with a proper 1080. And you had to undervolt it, otherwise just the screen would go too dim because of power limitations. It was pretty wild. Alexis, you're of course very, very right. I don't know. I should proofread our stuff much more carefully. But again, I only had limited time to set up the stream. Let me fix the description really quick. And what else was it? Yes, it's also a Ryzen 9, not a Ryzen 7. Sergey, so I would need to set it to the dedicated GPU in the NVIDIA thing. Let's do that later. Let's just see how this one goes up when we put it up to boost. Oh, can I? I might actually have to, because it seems like that the GPU is not getting all the wattage it can. Oh yeah, now it did. Let's see. Okay, yeah, sorry, let me figure this out. Gotcha. Alright, now it's working. Sorry about that. That took a while. Narisha, that's a very good question. But let me just see in our performance comparison. I think we did test quite a few desktop cards to compare it with. But let me see. So a desktop 4060 Ti is about 12% faster than the 4070 in the RAZER Blade, according to our 3D Mark performance rating. So that should give you a rough direction. Sergey, you are very demanding today, but of course. But it will probably not help you with the numbers because of the scaling. Sergey, it's fine. Leonard, I actually have to check later because I wasn't able to find the selection for just the 4070 in the NVIDIA control panel right now. And it seems like in Synapse they not allow it. Because in here it just says, where was it? Sergey, I hope you're satisfied. I've seen it earlier. Yeah, it might not let me do it now, and I don't want to restart the Blade right now because I'm connected via HDMI to the capture card. So I have to check later and then have to tell you. So we're running at high performance and we're still just getting 100 watts. So I would say it's, I don't know, it should have been higher because it's actually, I think it's a 140 watts 4070, but it might have something to do with with NVIDIA Optimus and everything. Yes, Sergey, I can... Well, if this was my personal machine, I would probably do it. But since we don't do it for our reviews, because it would take quite a bit of time doing it for every laptop we test. And in addition, we try to review these machines as they come, so to speak. And that's why we usually do not mess with it. But I would actually like to see it. To see what you can get out of these modern cards. So, but let's play some video games for now. Oh well, you guys, since this is an AMD laptop, let's just do a Cinebench run first, because I really want to see what the 7940HS can do in this one. So just bear with me for that, and then we're gonna play some video games, I promise. I just set it to 10 minutes and we go through the power levels really quickly. So, CPU package power is interesting. And temperature. And as we did before, let's start at silent. I'm gonna do multi-core if that's alright with you. If you wanna see single core, just let me know. RC, I do not think that OLEDs on laptops these days, you're gonna have a lot of problems with burn-in. I heard the concern of people before, but I haven't heard any, like, I've never seen anybody complaining like 2 years after that they had burn-in problems. So I do not really know how much of a problem it is, but I don't think it is that much of a problem. So I had my OLED TV for about 5 or 6 years, and I'm gaming on that one a lot, and never had any problems with burn-in whatsoever. So I do not think it's like I don't think it's really a problem. Sure thing, Sergey. Well, Narisha, yeah, it was a pretty good deal. And did yours get warm and throttle? You can easily test it with Hardware Info, which is the software I'm using right now. So yeah, as you can see, we're just hitting 65C in Cinebench, but the CPU is also just running at 25 watts in silent. And it's silent, it's really silent. So let's bring it up to balanced. Oh, I see. Well, you're definitely gonna have a lot of fun with it. I just tested the AMD version. Leonard, I had it in silent mode, that's why. So now we are unbalanced, we are getting 35 watts and it looks like 47C. Yeah. I like to make my way up from the silent profiles up to the high performance profiles. Just to see how temperatures look like and wattage. So yeah, but guys, I'm curious because I've not seen any other reviews about it. I think Dave2D did a review a few days ago, and I think Matthew Monis did his one today. So what did they say about the Blade 14? And Safa, I do not want to say anything right now because I need to spend a couple of days with the Blade 14. But I mean, I really like the Blade. I mean, when it comes to their design language, I think they're pretty well-made machines. And I also like the keyboard for the Blade 14 a lot more than I did for the Blade 16. The Blade 16 felt really flat. It was weird. Something you get used to, but it was still weird. And the Blade 14 feels a lot better right from the start. Narisha, I do not run the website by myself. Like, not at all. We are a huge team. I do not know how many writers we are, but I'm definitely not. I wouldn't be able to handle everything we do on the website. So I'm only in charge of YouTube. Everything that is anything video related you see on the website or on YouTube, that's just me. But most of the testing and everything on the website is done by a lot of very talented people and very dedicated people. And that's why I always, in my video reviews, call out our writers that did the initial testing and the written reviews on the website. I would not be able to do that by myself. So yeah, we are quite a few people to make that work. Sergey, that makes sense. So I think that's the sacrifice they had to make to fit 2 RAM slots. Fair enough. I mean, I guess pick your poison. Ha, Bogdan. Well, there you go. So yeah, NotebookCheck is currently apparently around 60 people that are running the website, like our news team, our writers, our guys, our seniors that are in charge of getting the review samples and everything. So yeah, we are quite a few people. And yeah, I would say from my initial impressions, I'm kind of with them. So when it comes to build quality, I wouldn't exactly feel... So it feels a bit more premium than the G14. But that, I think that doesn't mean that the G14 doesn't feel as premium. It does feel not as premium, but it still has very good build quality, if that makes sense. It's very weird to compare these two with each other because the G14 has this weird magnesium thing I've talked about earlier. So it feels very different, but it's not that it's not like it's not well made, if that makes any sense. It probably didn't, but yeah, I hope you guys know what I mean. Okay, Cinebench, we are now at full performance mode. Sorry, I'm talking too much. I forget that we're supposed to do something. And I'm sorry if I'm very sweaty, but it's really hot in here. And I have 2 laptops running, so... Yeah, Leonard, ignore the results because I have so much other stuff running. I just did this to get a feel for temperatures and wattages and everything, and fan noise. Well, in CPU-only workloads, like Cinebench right now, it's definitely audible, but it's not annoyingly audible, I would say. Yeah, I would say it's definitely okay. I have to put it side by side to the G14 in a few days to see how these two compare. As Sergey, yes it is. This is max performance mode, like their custom mode, and then boost. Well, Davina, I feel like all the AMD versus Intel things we did, especially like with the Lenovo Legion, they have been pretty much exactly on par. Leonard, yeah, it is. I don't know what's happening here, but again, it might be because everything else that is open right now. So I have Steam opened, I have Epic opened, and I'm still doing the via HDMI and the capture thing. I don't know how this ties into it. Leonard, that may be, but I guess it's not faster than this one running at 45 watts. Why put more wattage into it if you don't need it? And I also feel like you don't need that much CPU performance these days. If you get a fast GPU, I don't know, I always feel like you don't need the absolute fastest CPU you can get. If it's like a very efficient CPU that still has high single core like clock speeds and decent multi-core performance, I mean, I guess it really depends what you're doing with your machine, or if you're playing a lot of, like if you're playing at 1080p and want the highest frame rates possible, sure, then you need quite a fast CPU. But if you play on the Blade 14 in QHD, your CPU will not matter that much, I feel like. So I would say that's pretty alright for such a small machine. But let's play video games. Unless you guys want to see something else before I jump into a game, then you have like 10 seconds before we get there. That's very interesting. Jared is doing amazing stuff with these super in-depth testing he does. It's pretty insane what this guy is doing. I think, especially with laptops, it's always the whole package, so you can't look at individual parts. I mean, of course, we are doing Cinebench tests and everything, but like, in the end, the user experience comes from everything and how well everything works together. So it's always a compromise, especially in a 14-inch machine. And of course, this translates to laptops in general. But yeah. Let me just quickly set everything up with Call of Duty. Yeah, Divina, that's true. I mean, we always have to evaluate what we are testing and how in-depth we are going to go, because we are covering so many laptops and we are trying to have like a standardized review procedure so we can have like comparable data. And with everything we are testing right now, we have to be really careful what we add and what we do not add, because I'm sorry, Leonard. Is it better now? I'm moving a lot as well, so maybe that's why. But yeah, if you guys have anything you would like us to test, and if there's anything you can think of out of the top of your heads that you would like to see in every review we are doing, then please do not hesitate to let me know. But then again, it's also, we have to find a balance between the very, very, very knowledgeable people and then the ones who are like just really looking for like general information about a laptop. So that's also something to keep in mind. Unshipped cheese. I would, if it would be my money, I would probably get a 4060, unless it's something that you can just get with a 4070. So yeah. Kriya, I have to check this later, because Alan also said in the review that there's no mux support on the Blade 14 for now. But it actually said something in the Synapse settings to do it via the NVIDIA control panel, so I'm not really sure what's happening there. But Leonard, we do a lot of written reviews about mini PCs on the website. So definitely check those out, because I think from our team it's either Christian or Sebastian who are very into mini PCs. That's why we do have a lot of reviews about them. Tamate, sorry for butchering your guys' names. I do not have it on here yet, so I can't do that for now. Sorry about that. But I'm afraid we have to stick to the benchmark test I have on here right now. But maybe if you have time later, I can do it. Okay. Right, let's see. Let's just jump into a quick game. Okay. What kind of settings do you guys want to see? If I would play properly, I would probably go for 1080p. Why is this set to 30 Hz? That's so weird, but that might be because of the HDMI thing I'm doing. That might mess insanely with stuff. I have to figure this out later. Okay, let's try Ultra and just see what happens. Of course, we all gonna be nice to each other. Thank you, Divina. That's very nice to hear. I will forward it to the team. Okay, Sergey, I'm listening to you, and we'll put it on 1080p. There we go. And I have to turn off voice chat. First thing you have to do when playing Call of Duty. Kenneth, have you already bought a laptop this year? Korea, we have not done it. We are in balance right now, but I can definitely put it in silent in a few minutes. For sure. So we are, like right now, we are 1080p. And the loading screen. So yes, 1080p, ultra settings, and we have DLSS on quality. So let's just see. What game mode is this? Damn, I forgot to change the game modes to something I will usually play. It seems like we're getting 130 FPS with the GPU sitting at about 85 watts and the CPU at 35 watts at 83 degrees for the CPU and 75-ish for the GPU. That's pretty solid. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not the best Call of Duty player. But that's not what we're here for. But that's also a very solid machine, Kenneth. I wouldn't... It's not something to be sad about. Oops. This was a very lucky shot, the second one. I hope you guys seen that. Herman, let me just go to 1440 so I can give you my hands-on experience. Well, I mean, of course, like, damn it, he got me. Compared, like, if you just switch it right now so that you have it compared directly against each other, 1440p does look a lot crisper. But would I notice if I would have not seen it? So, for example, if I just started at 10... I mean, 1080p looks plenty crisp, especially on 14-inch. So, I would be fine gaming like a fast-paced game at 1080p at 14-inch. But then again, the difference in frame rates is not that much. I guess it depends what you value more. If you want the added clarity or if you want the higher FPS. I guess it really depends on what you would prefer. But let me put it back to 1080. And let me just put it on silent. Can you guys actually hear the fans through the mic? Okay, it's actually a lot quieter. And it seems like we did not lose that many frames, so it's actually... Okay, that's pretty impressive. Damn it. Sorry. Yeah, I also can't wait for Starfield. I'm so excited. So I guess you guys have seen the gameplay reveal. I just really hope they can make it work. I'm not ready for another game that is not good at launch. So yeah. Yeah, Korea, as Sergey pointed out already, you will not have your GPU loaded at 100%. So that's why it's a little bit more chilled. Alright, let me just jump into just a normal team deathmatch. That's why I didn't see these new game modes. I haven't played for a while. Okay, let's do another round and then we can try Fortnite again. It wasn't launching a few minutes ago. I don't know what happened there. Yes, Herman. I'm actually... So my streaming laptop right now is the G14. So I'm playing the games on the Blade 14, but the stream is actually handled by the G14, and we also did a review about it. If you go to our YouTube, you should be able to find it pretty quick. It was just, I think, a month ago or something. And Benny, the Yoga 9i, so I did a hands-on for the 16-inch version, and it actually got me pretty excited. And the Yoga Pro 7s have also been really good, so I have high hopes for the 9i. But then again, Leonard, it's much easier for developers to just develop for one platform than just then develop for like a whole load of different CPUs, GPUs, and everything. Like, I guess that makes it much easier to optimize for like just one hardware platform. And Herman, yes, the G14 4090. And Norisha, unfortunately, no, I do not have any of those games installed, and I do not have installs on any hard drives, since these are games we do not usually have in our standard benchmarks. I'm very sorry. So if we do this regularly, I will have like a whole library of games, so we can jump into anything you guys request. But, oh, I should click on start, I'm sorry. Don't distract me, guys. So I'm planning to do these streams much more regularly, if that's something that you guys want to see. And then, for example, if I plan a stream for in 2 days or in 3 days, or have like a proper schedule, you guys can make suggestions on about what games you want to see. Herman, almost everybody asked me that. I think it's too early. I think they're very good, both in their own rights. The G14 has the tremendous advantage of being available with a 4080 or a 4090. If that's something you would want to pay for, of course. So I'm using the G14 with the 4090 as my daily driver right now. And I would say it's totally worth it if you have the money and if you do more than just gaming with it. Because obviously I'm a content creator, so I'm doing a lot of video editing and everything. And then having a 14-inch laptop. What's happening right now? Okay, can you guys see this? I don't know what's happening. I don't know if this is my network or if this is the game. But something very, very weird is going on here. Okay, let me see if I can fix this. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. Yes, so getting back to the G14 with the 4090, it is extremely expensive, but I mean, of course, if you have the money and you want the absolute best in the smallest package, then I guess you just don't care and you just get what you like. But for me, as someone who works a lot on the go, for example, I was on vacation for the past 10 days and I still had to do like 2 videos that went up on YouTube, the Alienware review and the Lenovo Legion review. And just being able to do our videos that deal with 6K Blackmagic RAW footage on a 14-inch laptop without having to compromise on the experience, it's pretty amazing. And I mean, I make money with that laptop, so it kind of weighs off the cost a little bit, but okay, this feels a lot better. So yeah, I hope this answers your question, at least a little bit. And about the 9i, I cannot really recommend anything I haven't tested yet. So from the hands-on I had with the 16-inch version, they looked very promising. I liked them a lot. But of course we have to wait for our full review before I say anything about it. Okay. Let's see if we can properly stress the CPU in this game. And I just died. My teammates will be very mad. Okay, apply. And let's just put it on extreme. And see what DLSS is running on. That's quality, that's fine. Yeah, that's still not that bad. But it's fluctuating a lot more. Damn it. Yeah, Leonard, but that's always the same discussion when it comes to laptops and desktops. But you can't do you can't take your dual 4090 system with you. So that's this argument. I don't get it. It's just, of course, if you just need a desktop, then do the desktop thing, because then it doesn't make sense to go for a laptop. But if you need to be mobile, then this argument just doesn't make any sense. At least that's how I feel. But somebody said earlier that the G14 is still cheaper than the Blade, but I haven't checked pricing yet. Well, considering that we are still running at 1440p, this is actually smooth enough. I mean, I would still probably, if I would play this for a couple of hours, I would probably still die. I would probably still go for 1080p, which we can do. But it's actually a pretty good experience. Well, right now it isn't because it's lagging. I don't know what this game is doing. Damn it. Yes, okay. It's like, of course, a desktop that you can build yourself will be cheaper, but then again, it's like 10 times, 12 times the volume of a laptop. So of course, you pay for like things to be smaller. But then again, hold on, Leonard. How much was a 3080 Ti laptop when it launched? Was it really that much cheaper? I mean, yes, now of course, but when it launched, hold on, I have to check, because I did this 3080 Ti review of the Alienware X15, I think. I don't know. Let me see if our written review has the launch price. See if it's still available somewhere. Kriya, what is happening with those liquid metal leakages and frequency noise? I haven't heard anything about that. Bomba, I've actually heard that. There was another reviewer on YouTube, who apparently had pretty like a lot of problems with his machine. That exactly, you will not find any. Well, the 3080 Ti's in like small laptops that run at around 100 watts or something, I think they have been pretty expensive as well when they launched. Bomber, no, my G14, the review unit I'm still using is running perfectly fine. So I always forget that I should be playing video games here. Leonard, that sounds hectic. But I think you told me, right? I think this story sounds familiar. Just can't remember if it was in the last stream. Where is everybody? There you go. No need to hide. Gotcha. Sergey, that's actually right. Video memory with the 3080 Ti, that's true. I would probably do the same, but then again, it's difficult. I mean, frame generation is still a thing. But yeah, if I would have to decide between a 3080 Ti and a 4070, yeah, I might go for a 3080 Ti as well, especially with the video memory. You're right, I was forgetting about that. Okay, this is actually quite a lot of fun, so I have to remember to check the chat. Sorry. Bomber, you can check our written review. I will look it up for you in a second, but our SSD tests are in the written review. But let me just give you a rough idea. So for Crystal Disk, you're looking at over 7 gigabytes read sequentials and over 5 write. And no thermal throttling during our benchmarks. So they did pretty well in such a small chassis. And seems to be pretty fast. Damn it. Thank you, Sergey, for tuning in. That's interesting, Kriya. I have not heard anything about this. I'm not sure if this is ever going to happen. You can easily compare it. So if you follow the link that I have pinned in the chat, you can go to our written review, and there you can compare. So my colleague Alan compared it, like with all the benchmarks and CPU benchmarks to the G14. It's in there. Where are these guys? Damn it, he got me. Benny, yes you can, but it can then depends on what resolution, what settings, and what kind of frames you want to get. But I mentioned earlier that we have a stealth, like an MSI Stealth 14 review coming up that has like a 90 watts RTX 4050, and it's actually pretty capable. I mean, it has a 240 Hz screen, which you will never be able to utilize properly with a 4050, but it's a very decent machine. Damn it. Yeah, Leonard, I think you can't compare prices from 2012 to 2023. Not with everything that is happening right now, and not with everything that happened in the past few years. So I think that's just... These times are gone for good, I feel like. I'm so bad. Kriya, that sounds hectic. But that's too bad that you have to do this, because it shouldn't be like this. There you go. And I ran into my own grenade. Well, you guys aren't here for top tier gaming, I hope. Herman, so battery life is actually worse on the Blade than on the G14, if you still want to compare these two. And aesthetic, I mean, yeah, the RAZER is much more premium, but I prefer the keyboard on the G14. But it's not like you could not get used to the RAZER. I am at high settings, so we are 1080p. RX 560, but 1080p I can bring it up to 1440. And I think we're at extreme quality. Yeah, extreme, and DLSS is running in quality as well. Oh, and we are... Can't even remember which performance profile we're running at. We are running in silent. Sorry about that. Let's bring it up to balanced, and you should hear the fans kicking in a little bit more as well. Whew, that was stressful. Kriya, that's fine. Oh, damn, I was playing really good. I just vibed like 4 people and you guys didn't even see it. You have to tell me when I'm still full cam. I'm relying on here. I'm not a professional streamer. I just started this whole thing. So I need you guys. Seems like there was a problem with OBS. I hope you guys can still hear me. Yeah, it seems like it's still working. Yeah, I can do a quick run without DLSS, of course. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but it seems like we're back. Yeah. So guys, I'm gonna stream for like another half an hour. So if there's anything you guys would like to request, so we can still do Diablo, but I think it's a pretty easy to run game, so I think that wouldn't make a lot of sense. We can jump into Cyberpunk again, we can run the benchmark or just play the game. We can stay at Call of Duty, we can do a little bit of Cinebench. So yeah. Isaiah, of course we can. Just give me 1 second. Just have to figure out something really quick. And apparently apparently Alan for the written review did the battery testing at 240 Hertz. So just keep that in mind. TechRev, I do not know if we have the Vision 16 coming up. I'm pretty sure that we will get it, but I cannot tell you when. So what was the request again? So we're doing 1440p without the DLSS. Sure thing. Oh, and performance mode, right? I'm pretty sure I just died. So custom performance mode on CPU and GPU. There we go. Should be very audible now for you guys as well. It's still running pretty good. So it seems like we're pretty much CPU limited, I would say. Since frame rates are not differing that much. That hurt. That's how it's done. Cut that, no, not as quiet. So the additional performance, you're definitely are compromise. Oh god, talking and playing video games is pretty hard. Korea, I was referring to the X15, their 15-inch laptop with the 3080 Ti. Divina, I like that one a lot. I reviewed it a few days ago. No, not a few days ago, a few months ago. And the all AMD one was pretty nice, but they had quite some problems with the command center. That took us quite a while to figure out. But that seems to be a common thing with Alienware. But like the performance of both the CPU and the GPU was a pretty nice machine. I liked it a lot. But what are you paying for that one right now, for the M17? I would like to know. Yeah, I mean, 115 FPS. Let me just double check if it's on QHD. Yes. So QHD, maximum settings. on a 14-inch laptop without any DLSS or anything. That's actually pretty good. Damn it, he got me. Cut that, I haven't actually tried the speakers right now for this one. RX 560, that's not a problem, that's what we're here for. I mean, of course, I want to play some video games as well, but I'm mostly here for you guys, so that's alright. Okay, the difference when you switch back from QHD to 1080, it's pretty significant, I have to say, to be quite honest. I'm not gonna lie, but QHD looks much clearer. But then again, I would say if you go from 1080 to QHD and then back again directly, you will probably not notice it as much. But switching from QHD to 1080p it's pretty significant. So I would gladly reduce my frame rate about 20 FPS if I recall it correctly. I would definitely prefer QHD. Cut that. I think the screens are of a similar quality. I think the new one gets a bit brighter though, and you get the 16:10 if that is important to you. But if you don't need that, then I would say, what are the 2022 blades going for? Rationalist, I will do it momentarily. I'm actually quite curious about it myself because I'm not a competitive gamer, as you can see. Clearly, probably. But I would love to see as well. So, TechRev, the Palmless, it's not toasty, but it's hot. So, it's warm, but it's not uncomfortable. That maybe is a better explanation. And then again, we have like 30 degrees outside here today. So I would say in here it's probably like 26, 27. So that might not be indicative of what you would get. So just keep that in mind as well. Maybe I should have said this earlier when it comes to temperatures, that it's pretty hot in Germany right now. And at my place as well. Where's this guy gone? Oh, he's dead. Cut that, but that's still pretty expensive. Let me see if I can pull up a 3080 Ti in our comparison. How much wattage does the 3080 Ti get in the Blade 14? 90, 95-ish? Yeah, Leonard, I think it's pretty much the same as here. It's insanely hot. It's too much when you're testing laptops all day. But what is this? So the 27 degrees you were referring to, was this in your room with the machine running, or was this outside? I mean, I guess if you have air condition, I guess it's fine, but I wouldn't want to have a desktop that's pulling 500 watts right now with these kind of temperatures. So yeah. Cutter, that's true. You will rarely, if at all, see a 4070 really pulling 140 watts in a game or in an application. So it's definitely just a benchmark thing. Oh, holy crap. Yeah, it's the same as it is here. So, well, if you're comfortable, then that's great. I think it's just too hot for me. Cut that. It seems like our website is having a little bit of a problem. I don't know what's happening. I was trying to pull up a 3080 Ti with a similar wattage. It's not letting me. Yeah, Leonard, frames win games. Yeah, cut that exactly. So if you need that additional video memory, be it for if you want to play at 4K or something, then the 3080 Ti might make much more sense. Leonard, I feel you. I spent actually quite some time in Dubai at the end, like leading up to summer. So it was like 40 degrees plus from time to time. So yeah, I'm also used to much more, but still this is already getting very uncomfortable. Rationalist, what are you running right now? What laptop are you running? I would love to know. Kriya, that really depends. I mean, what would you do? What would you like us to test on the couch? Because it would need to be something that would actually give you guys some valuable information. I mean, so for me as a reviewer, especially when it comes to laptops, I use laptops plugged in on a desk most of the time, be it for video games, be it for video editing, be it for photo editing, but it's just because of the nature of what I'm doing. So on the couch with a laptop, I would probably just do like things like watching YouTube, Netflix, or writing a script, which you can do with basically every laptop out there. So, but I'm curious what you would like me to test on the couch. I mean, I'm all for it. Just sitting on the couch and doing some tests sounds pretty chilled, so. Benny, that really depends, because when you're connected to an external screen, your GPU is not running through the integrated GPU, which you can, of course, disable in most gaming laptops that have a mux switch. So having a mux switch is mostly the same as running through an external screen. Cut that, that's a very nice machine. I really liked it a lot last year, and it was my first mini LED experience. The X16 from last year will always have a very special place in my heart. Especially for me being a content creator and being into photo editing. Well, I was into photo editing before I took over this very YouTube channel. So having such a good screen with pen input enabled, I liked it a lot. And I like convertibles a lot. I see. Yeah, the X13 is also amazing. I was testing the X13 with the 3050 Ti, and they also sent me the XG Mobile with the, what was it? the 6850 XT, I think. So I was using this as my office laptop, and then I just plugged it in. So I had the XG Mobile plugged into my 4K TV, and I was using the XG Mobile basically as a console. And being able to do everything with the same machine was actually pretty fun. I mean, naming for hardware these days is generally pretty terrible. Yeah, it was a great card. Unless you wanted to play anything with ray tracing. But apart from that, I think I was playing Uncharted 4, the remaster, the PC remaster on it. And I had quite a bit of fun. Benny, yes, exactly. Somebody asked for the next stream. I do not know yet. I do not have like a schedule right now, because I never know when I get which laptop. So planning streams for me is pretty would be pretty difficult, and with all the reviews we have to do, it will probably be a relatively spontaneous thing. But if you guys enjoy it, I'm all for it. I'm having a ton of fun, and connecting with you guys directly through the stream is actually pretty amazing. So yeah. As always, since I will just stream for another 15 minutes, and if you've been here for the whole stream or have been here for a while, or even if you just started watching, please let me know what you think about doing these streams. If this is something that gives you additional information to our reviews, or if this is something that you rather watch than just like a 10-minute review, because you get much more in-depth kind of feel for the laptop, I guess. Leonard, yes, I've seen the new naming scheme. It's just, but even even with AMD, I mean, the CPUs they put out this year, they are pretty great, but the Lenovo Legion Pro 5 with the AMD Ryzen 7 7745HX, I'm sorry, what? Who's supposed to remember this? Sample, of course, yeah, you've been asking this earlier. So let's do the opposite. 1080p. So is it minimum, or what would you want to see? Still put this up. Okay, that's. I will so I will do minimum settings, but I will have it at 100% render resolution if that's okay, unless you want to see something different. Yeah, we can do battery tests. Should I stay at Call of Duty, or do you guys want to see another game? Oh, I forgot about the U series. You're right, they are even worse. Supercrafter, I do not know. I do not think we have any info about the slim Lenovo laptops yet. We have been reviewing all the Legions for now, and let's see what we can get. I just got the what's it called, the yoga book, the one with the 2 OLED screens today. I'm pretty excited for that one, even though there are a lot of reviews out because the US guys got them pretty early. So yeah, it seems like you're not getting a ton of frames more by going with super low settings, but that might just be a limitation of the whole system, like with the CPU and everything. Yes, I think I'm on performance mode. Let me check. Yeah, we are at performance mode. Yeah, let's do Cyberpunk. I mean, the fans are audible, and again, it's pretty hot in here, so I would take this with a grain of salt. But for me, at least, subjectively, it's okay. For the amount of performance you're getting, for the experience, and giving... I do mostly play my video games with headphones anyways, and I have the game sound pretty low, so I can hear myself talking a little bit better. So this wouldn't bother me, but I mean, your mileage will vary, I would say. Okay, let's do this round in low settings. Well, I mean, I could just... This is low settings. Let me just... So this is on battery. And it being limited to 30 FPS might be an NVIDIA setting. Let me just see if I can figure this out really quickly. This might be like a GeForce Experience battery saving thing. Benny, we actually do have a German channel. I forgot, I actually wanted to talk about this. While I figured this stuff out, let me send you the link. And guys, I know even if you're not German, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the German channel, because we are starting from scratch with this one. And it will not get content the same way the English channel will, unless I can get a few more people to help me with the videos, because otherwise it's just too much stuff to do. But yeah, we do have a German channel. There you go. Please all subscribe. I'm counting on you guys. Narisha, I think we did that at the beginning of the stream. If we have time, I can of course do it. Let me just quickly figure out the battery situation. Yeah, that's battery boost. So now we should get quite a bit more performance. Yeah, there we go. So we are on battery now. I'm getting still the same frame rate. It's pretty impressive. Almost the same. Yeah, cut it. I was just fixing that while I was talking. That's all right. Sorry, you guys, you have to tell me, guys, that you can't see the game. So yeah, we're at still the same settings, which is minimum settings, 1080p, and on battery. And it's dead silent, which is actually pretty crazy. Thank you, Narisha. Really appreciate it. Yeah, and of course, if you guys want to share the stream, want to share the channel, want to tell your friends about it, watch all of our videos, like all of our videos, it's very much appreciated. I don't know how long you guys are following us, but we just restarted the whole YouTube thing about a year ago. And yeah, we still have a long way to go when it comes to viewers and subscribers and everything, but it's a ton of fun, and it seems like you guys are really liking the video reviews in addition to our written reviews. So we are definitely going to keep it up, but of course we need your support. waiting in that corner. Yeah, no, it would definitely, it won't last long. Let me just check really quickly. Yeah, so the Windows thing says it will last for about 35 minutes. I don't know how much merit that has, but yeah, if you push the system that much, it will not last long. Okay, let me just plug it in really quickly. Let's just jump into Cyberpunk and do this battery test again at high settings, and let's see what happens. Thanks, folks. I really appreciate it. All right, Cyberpunk. That's alright, cut that. I think I checked on one of our videos the other day. I think it was the video about the G14, which went really well. People really seem to like it, and there's not that much content about the G14 out there, which is really surprising. Hence the intro I did for that video. But I think like over 90% of people who watched that video have not been subscribed to the channel, which I think is pretty crazy. But yeah, I guess most time people just forget to hit subscribe, even if they like it. But yeah. Narisha, I'm on it. That's what I'm just setting up, and then we can do a quick battery test for this very game. And then I think I will call it a night. It's still very new for me to talk without pause for about 2 hours. So I think 2-hour streams are my go-to for now. All right. So why is it even offering me 4K? Doesn't even make sense. So native resolution, max settings, dlss balanced, and RT overdrive coming right up. Wait, isn't overdrive path tracing? On a 4070, that's gonna be fun. Kriya, I did not exactly say that the G14 has disappointing battery life. I just said that I think all of us were expecting a lot more. I think for me personally, a laptop that gets like a solid 7 to 8 hours is perfectly fine. That's all I need. I'm mostly plugged in anyway, so I don't care for more. But other people will have another focus when they look for gaming laptops or laptops in general. All right, so we're running path tracing at 42 FPS. Let me just double check if I'm running on high performance mode, but I think it should. DLSS and balanced. I'm very curious to try frame generation a little bit. Yeah, we're getting about 40 FPS. GPU sitting at 110 watts, but now it's getting really toasty. Like the pawn rest, it's getting very toasty. Ah, Benny, that's... If it was my money on the line, I would probably wait for a review or buy it from a place where you can just return it after 30 days if you do not like it. But I would probably, just to be safe, I just would wait for it. Leonard, I do not think so. I think the only CPU we have seen was in the ROG Ally. Oops, sorry. There you go. So yeah, that's pretty choppy. A mouse and keyboard game at 40 FPS, it's not something I would enjoy. If it would be a controller game, I guess this would be somewhat fine. But yeah, let me just turn on frame generation. Let's see what this is doing. Okay, we are getting 60 FPS. But the latency thing you would have to get used to. I feel like frame generation is a lot better if you have more frames to begin with. But I mean, that's the difference, for me at least, between playable and not very enjoyable. So you guys can see the screen right now, right? Yeah, you can. So yeah, path tracing is pretty... That might be asking a little bit too much of a 4070. But let's see if we take it down to ray tracing. Quality, frame gen, and let's see what this does. Yeah, this feels a lot better. But yeah, it's pretty audible. It's doing it's working quite hard now. Narisha, if you know where to look for, then yes, definitely. If nobody would tell you that it's one or another, I think it's. They said it's a technology preview, and I think that's very much alright. Not in terms of how much performance you're actually getting, but because I think you can actually get it to run fairly easily, especially with DLSS and frame generation. But like the way it's implemented, I mean, it looks amazing. Cyberpunk looks amazing right now. No matter if you're having it on ray tracing or if you have it on path tracing. But at some instances, it does look a lot better with path tracing, or, well, a lot more believable. But yeah, the difference is very subtle. It's not minor, but it's very subtle. Okay, let me pull the plug on this one. So we're running on battery now. Yeah, and again, it goes down to 50 watts, which is about half the power envelope it had before. But it's still not that bad. I mean, 50 FPS, if you would put it down to 1080p, you can still play on battery. I mean, for 45 minutes. And it's dead silent, or very silent, on battery. I guess so too, Leonard. It's just like, it's a technology that's still pretty new. But once it's easier to run, or if developers know how to produce it or like get it to run much more efficiently, I think it will be the future. Because from what I know, it's also much easier to light things in game engines with path tracing. Because it's just like how physical light would behave naturally. So I would say the same. And I mean, especially like what you can see nowadays with reflections, with ray traced reflections. It looks pretty well already. Alright, let me just get somewhere where it's a bit more chilled and where we get a nice view. And then I think it's almost about time to end the stream. Okay, there we go. Having a nice sunset. And too many people still shooting at me. Okay guys, come on. I got stuff to talk about. Okay, let's then just end the stream with this view. God damn it. I have to catch up with you guys. Hold on a second, I just have to hide in a corner with a nice view. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I will also say, Leonard, if like ray tracing becomes much more mainstream, I'm pretty excited for how games will look like in the future. Benny, the Zenbook I am testing right now does have the i9 and the 4070 as well. And I like it a lot so far, and the review will be out very soon. Narisha, definitely. I will keep that in mind for the future and have like just a hard drive with a whole bunch of games ready. So I can react to your requests a lot more. That's definitely something I will look into. But again, we just started this. I think this is like the third or fourth stream. So I will also try to announce them with much more notice, so you guys can maybe plan it a little better. And you guys also have to let me know which time works for you, because I'm in Germany, but we have a lot of like English speaking viewers. I don't know where you guys are from. I should have asked this earlier. But yeah, definitely I will try it out in the future a lot more, because I'm having a ton of fun, and I hope you guys have had as well. You're very welcome, Katat. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and testing the RAZER Blade 14, even though it was about a lot of other things as well, but that's what I enjoy a lot. And I hope you guys had a good time too. This video will go live as a video on demand, so if you want to rewatch it later and like it later, add your comments about stuff we have been talking about during the stream, so other people can benefit from the information as well. So please feel free to do so. If you want to share our channel with your friends, if you want to share our written review, if you want to read up on more benchmark stuff, then please again also read our written review. I have pinned it in the comments, in the chat on the very top. And again, I also put in the link for the German channel, and it would mean so much for me if you would give us a thumbs up and a subscribe over there as well. We will have a lot more content over there as well, and of course on the main channel as well. If you haven't liked this stream, please feel free to do so as well. If you haven't subscribed, please also feel free to do so. As you can see, it's getting quite late for me. I'm having trouble speaking. Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream for now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Stay tuned for a lot more content on the RAZER Blade 14. And I think it just went into standby because it was on battery. Yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you all in the next one. Have a good night and goodbye.